Well, I've been hearing lots of things about Choujin X, and I decided to ask Twitter whether this manga was worth the read, and the majority of the replies were relatively positive, and honestly, I'm never asking Twitter about their opinions ever again. Chapter 1 of Choujin X is 82 pages, and it is an absolute acid trip. This shit had me feeling like Morty.
Am I in a fucking K-hole right now? What is going on?
I read through chapter 1 right through till chapter 17 to leave no doubt that I didn't give this series the proper opportunity that it deserves to show me something that would grab my attention and get me invested. These people have hands for heads. That's a human box thing person. This person has become baseball. This is a herd of sheep chasing a little girl on motorbikes. Is that a fucking Spider-Man reference? Like, when I tell you that Choujin X was made by a crazy person for crazy peoples, I hope you can believe me. The creator of the series is none other than the creator of Tokyo Ghoul, yet another series that I've never read, and after this probably will never either. And honestly, even just the first chapter is a total clusterfuck of what the fuck is going on. This creepy Birdman thing is about to kiss this dude. Oh look, this is a cute little girl talking to this old lady about her dreams. Did that man just try and hit this old lady? Everyone is on fire. What the fuck is going on? And that is the first 9 pages. It took this series 9 pages to show me a crazy man with no explanation for powers or anything set multiple people's heads on fire, thus sending a plane into a spiraling disaster. And if you think it gets any less complicated, it doesn't. It turns out Tokio Kurohara, who's our main character by the way, was actually watching the plane go down, but no one believes him in his classroom because why would they? That's too obvious. And then boom, he's talking to pigeons, and then all of a sudden a young woman is about to be assaulted right in front of him, so Tokyo calls in the Avengers, except it's not the Avengers, it's just some random dude who turns out to be Tokyo's best friend, Azuma, who's a sort of vigilante in the series of this wild, wild west of a world. Azuma swiftly snaps this dude's arms in half and sends him on his merry fucking way. Good luck being a paraplegic right now. And not long after this, Tokyo and Azuma acknowledge the plane crash, which happened conveniently not far from them, and then they finally mention Choujin's, which if you need an explanation because this first chapter sure as fuck is not doing that, then basically Choujin's is a devil fruit from fucking One Piece, and whoever is a Choujin can gain a random power to even beastify. Does your head hurt? Because my head also hurts. And then Azuma and Tokyo go to investigate the plane crash, and it turns out that there was 200 survivors, which adds even more mystery and intrigue to the story, which I will give the story credit. It is very good at adding mystery and intrigue. And then all of a sudden, the dude who had his arm snapped is back, and now he has a stretchy neck, and it turns out he's a Choujin. Now after some dude said, hey, wanna buy some drugs? And he was like, oh yeah, please, what could possibly go wrong? Blah, blah, blah. Spoiler alert, everything went wrong. Stretchy neck Luffy starts fighting with Azuma and beating his ass, and all of a sudden wraps his weird cock neck thing around his friends and promptly pops their heads off. I didn't miss any events there. That is literally what happens. He's beating Azuma's ass, and then all of a sudden he's like, fuck you guys, you don't need heads anymore. And then at some point during this video, you're probably sat there like, surely he's missed some details. Surely surely Weeb has missed something out here. No, I haven't. This is literally the first chapter. Azuma and Tokyo manage to get away from Straw Hat Luffy here and magically find 2 more of the secret stuff needles that were laying on the floor, and they decide, we'll inject each other with those because why not? And also become Choujins because what else could possibly go wrong in this acid trip chain of events that is this 80-page, 1 chapter... My head hurts, man. But Stretchy Neck finds Tokyo and punches him in the face, only to find out that Tokyo is now also a Choujin, and boom, big reveal. Tokyo is now a weird-looking man-crow thing, and that is literally the first chapter of Choujin X. But don't let me and my dislike for this series ruin it for you. I highly recommend you go and read the first chapter at the very least for this series, because if I'm truly honest here, the manga isn't bad by any means. Objectively for me, it's bad purely because absolute chaos that is thrust into your eyeballs right from the get-go. And if you're a fan of Chainsaw Man, there's this smidget chance you'll enjoy Choujin X here, because as you read through the panels, you can see hints of Chainsaw Man's influence starting to come out, and you can see it happen with how fast the pacing is and just how chaotic the storyline is. However, where the difference lies, for me at least, is in how the characters present themselves and how the world is built up around them. With Chainsaw Man, we are introduced to our main character and we are shown the world and what makes it tick, and we learn about devils and what they do, almost all within the first couple of pages. Choujin X follows a similar path but feels more convoluted. No time to take in the scenery or the surroundings within the first couple of pages, because before you know it, you're watching a horrific disaster unfold with almost no context as to why it's happening. You don't even have no idea what these characters' names even are before they're seemingly thrust into absolute chaos and violence. But that's what makes Choujin X that much more intriguing, because a writer has to have some big ass balls to start a manga in the way that Choujin X starts off. Similar to the way that Berserk starts, you already know what kind of story you're in for right out the gate, and it says, fuck you, hold on to your hat, because this mangaka just dropped 15 tabs of acid plus 1 dose of DMT and started drawing whatever the fuck comes straight to their mind, and it's a wild ride. And if I had to use just one word to describe Choujin X as a whole, I'd use the word intrigue. Everything you see and read is intriguing. Why is there a Birdman thing about to kiss a dude on the front page? Who are these sheep people that can ride motorbikes? Why does this man look like he walked out of a meme maker's screen? What even are Choujins? How did they even come about? What is their purpose? There is so many questions that Choujin X leaves you with, and none of that is answered within the first 17 chapters. And I don't want to hear anyone say, oh, you didn't give it enough time, because 17 chapters averaging around 50 pages, maybe higher or lower, is more than enough time to give me at least something to any of those questions, but none of that is answered within those 15 chapters. And it is just wild. And then there's the artwork. The artwork for me in manga is a make or break. Call me fussy, but if I'm reading a manga, I need some good visual content to go along with. That for me is the premise of manga. If the story is good enough, I can look past art style's weaker or stronger visuals, but Choujin's art style is wonderful. It's a perfect blend of what I can only describe as like comedy, horror. Everything has this sense of unease and tension, like something will kick off at any second, and the rough line works that indicate intense emotions or motion, and the art that goes into borderline realism to highlight every detail of something, someone, or someplace, just makes the style of art perfect for this absolute acid trip of a series. It isn't all bad in Choujin X. This is all of my own personal experience and opinion on this series so far. So intrigue is the word I would use to describe Choujin X. And I will continue to read the rest of the chapters and try and wrap my tiny little noggin around what my peepers are seeing and reading. But honestly, at this rate, I would rate this manga at least a 6 out of 10 for now. And I'd like to see where the story goes. But my honest overall opinion is that it's a tough one to engage in, and I guarantee there will be people in my comments telling me that you should have read until this part, and to all those people I have to say, at 17 chapters, averaging around 50 pages per chapter, this manga had more than enough time to give me something that was more than just chaos for the sake of chaos. I didn't feel any sort of emotional connection to any of these characters whatsoever, and that's not to say that I could read 2 to 3 more chapters more and have that connection, but I feel like at 17 chapters with most of the manga that I have read, at 17 chapters with even half the pages that are in those chapters, I felt stronger connections to a lot of the characters that I've been introduced to. Like I've said, I'll continue to read this manga, and if it changes my mind in the future, I'll make a video expressing just how incorrect and dumb my stupid little opinion is. But I wanted to make a video about what I've read and seen so far, and I hope you enjoyed it. It's not my usual flow of video, and if you did enjoy it, just make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe you'll get to see more stuff like this. And let me know if you have read Choujin. Let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, as always, I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Much love, big kisses.